Every rock solid relationship begins on the foundation known as trust. If there is no trust, there is no relationship. It's as simple as that. If there is no trust in the relationship, there's no relationship to begin with. So the moment that you break the trust between you and another, it's done. And they could show up, right? Like you have these relationships where somebody, steps out on the relationship. Infidelity, cheating, call it what it is. A lack of integrity, a lack of honor, a lack of honesty, a lack of character. And the two individuals get back together. There could be so much done in the context of that relationship. You could go to all the therapy you want. You can do all the things that you got to do, the date nights of this, resparking, reigniting, etc. And things will get better than the moment that you cheated on your partner. However, there will never be the same relationship dynamic there was before when there was trust. That trust has now dissipated, and now it is you trying to rebuild. They say it takes a lifetime to build your character, and it takes one moment to break it, or reputation, I guess they would say, right? Which is how the world perceives it. It takes a lifetime to build reputation, and one single incident for it to waste away. That's the very same thing when it comes to trust. All it takes is one moment of you breaking that. And you may think that's not fair. This ain't about fair or not fair. This is, are you standing in integrity or not? Are you the person you project yourself out to be? If you show yourself for all you truly are, all your true colors, then there won't be the expectation on you. But when you're lying to folk, when you're showing up in a way that is not genuinely you, it's going to eventually show itself, and that's when you're going to feel disappointed and it's not fair and, I just made a mistake. No, your true color showed that you didn't have the discipline, that you didn't have the ability to hold to your word. And so what I want to get into is even more important and more valuable than the development of trust between you and another, and it's the foundation of any trust you will ever build with anybody. And that is the ability to trust yourself. Now, the last coaching call that I ever had that I was willing to have before I said, you know what, I'm no longer going to be coaching, doing one-on-one coaching. The last call I had was with a lady, not going to say her name, but it basically was a conversation about how do I build trust with myself? Because after a few sessions, we came to realize that what was actually lacking in her life, the unfulfillment was coming from a place where she did not feel she could trust herself to make the right decisions for herself. And obviously, it usually starts in the space of relationships, and then it shows itself in other spaces. And this is something I'm very intimate, very close to. It's actually the beginning, the genesis of my own healing journey came from me realizing I was afraid of commitment. And so from that point on, I realized that, man, I had to deal with whatever was happening internally and had been happening internally. All these stories, these belief systems, the past traumas, my upbringing, etc., whatever you may want to call it, inner child. I had to address what was going on beyond the surface. And the deeper I went, the more I realized that there's a deep distrust of yourself. Now, a lot could be attributed to, being raised in a fundamentalist Christian household, Bible thumping household where my belief system was you cannot trust yourself. You're broken, you're flawed, you're fallen, you're less than a worm. And so you need to trust this deity outside of yourself because you can't trust yourself. So the baseline and the foundation for me was already to not trust myself. However, beyond that was just the simple, manifestation of humans being humans. Well, I'm not going to say humans being humans because that says that we're intrinsically this. But the way in which most of us are living is we are out of integrity with our own word. So we say we're going to do one thing and we do the opposite. Let's take 1st of January every single year, for example, right? January 1st is the day where most people say, I'm going to do this, and this different. I'm going to show up in this way. I'm going to do these things, and these things are going to better my life. The New Year's resolution. Yet they say that almost all New Year's resolutions, I forget the exact statistic, I don't have it in front of me, so I'm just going to make up, let's say 80% just to go with Pareto principle. 80% of New Year's resolutions are going to be dropped within the 3rd month of the year. 80%. And then the rest fall off, as the year continues to trickle on. And you can see this in the gym. If you go to the gym January 1st and then you go to the gym, let's say September 1st, it's going to be a very different turnout of a very different demographic of individuals. I promise you that. And this is consistent year after year. And it's not because a person does not have the desire to do better for themselves, not because they don't have the desire to get in the best shape or take care of their body, but instead because they're still going off of that old programming. They have not changed the software. They've been working on the hardware, but the software is still the very same. And so this is the case when it comes to building this trust within ourselves, which is the foundation of being able to create the lives that we desire. If I can't trust myself to do what I said I was going to do, for example, if I told myself every morning, I'm going to I'm going to sit my butt on this chair and I'm going to click that record button and I'm going to create these videos for y'all. If I tell myself I will do that every day and I do not do it, I am breaking the trust between me and me. Think about it. If I came into a relationship dynamic and I told babe, you know what, babe? I'm going to make sure that I show up for you every morning. I'm going to be here. I'm going to pull up at 8 a.m., and we're going to kick it. We're going to spend some time, we're going to do what we do. And so, okay, Monday comes. I don't show up. Hey, sorry, something came up. Tuesday comes. I don't show up. Boom, 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 boom. It would only take two, honestly, for me to realize this person is so unserious. They don't value their own word, let alone value me, right? So what do you think it does when we do that to ourselves? Not once, not twice, not 3 times, 4 times, but over and over and over in every single aspect of our lives. We are perpetually lying to ourselves. And so we wonder why we can't trust ourselves. Why is it that I just can't seem, even we talk about manifestation and law of attraction, etc. You cannot manifest the life that you desire if you're sending the mixed signals to life that you can't even trust yourself with what you have right now. You can't even be faithful with the few that you have right now. You can't even be solid. Okay, this $100, I'm going to make sure to save this, invest this, blah, blah. As soon as you get the $100, boom, it's gone out the window. You done bought something that you don't need. Let me go get my lashes done. Let me go get my a little spoke on my car or something like that. You just find a way just to evaporate that money and you wonder why more won't come in. You can't even trust yourself with it. You cannot even trust yourself with it. And so how do we develop this level of self-trust? It's a very straightforward and simple thing. You must keep your own word. You have to keep your own promises. And if that sounds like a daunting task, it shows you just how far we've gotten from ourselves, from who we truly are. Because the most authentic version of ourselves is only looking to align ourselves with what resonates, right? So you're going to do the things that resonate most with who you are, your own spirit. So if you have certain goals, you have certain things that you're moving towards in your life, then you're going to look to align yourself with those things. And it's easy to align yourself with it, or it's straightforward. It's simple to do so. I want to grow my platform. I want to make this not just, make me a living, but I want my gifting of creating this content, creating this music, which is another form of content. I want this to become my main source and my only source of income. I want to be as prosperous, as impactful as I possibly can be with my own gifting. If that is my goal, I can't wake up every day and go out there and do everything else besides this. I have to make sure that I prioritize this. I have to make sure that this comes first, or at least comes at some point. I have to follow through. And if I don't follow through and now I'm mad that I'm not getting the results, I have to look at the drawing board. Like, you said you were going to do X, Y, and Z to get to this place, and yet you're not taking any of the steps. Of course, you're not getting the goal. I can't believe that I'm not losing the weight. You're still on the couch eating the damn potato chips. You're still on the couch eating a whole watermelon by yourself. Oh, but this is healthy, it's a fruit. What? Oh, you obviously haven't done the research as far as how your physiology works. Your body needs proteins and fats. That's what it's looking for, not sugars and carbohydrates. It's looking for proteins and fats. Simple as that. And that's why you're still hungry after you eat all them carbs. Because your body is still looking for the nutrients that it wants. It wants them amino acids. It wants them. And it's going to get them by any means necessary. It will eat a couch in search of those amino acids. But you who say you have this desire aren't even willing to, first of all, figure out how this system works. You ain't serious. You're lying to yourself. And it's better to actually tell yourself. Like I remember, what's his name? Eric Thomas, motivational speaker, the hip hop preacher is what they call him, right? One of the greatest speakers I've heard in probably my lifetime, to be honest. Shout out to Eric Thomas. He was talking about how, he basically had to be honest with himself and say, you know what? I actually don't want a six pack. I don't care enough for a six pack to do the things it takes to get a six pack. And that was one of the most gangster things I've ever heard in my life, because he was being so straightforward with something that most people say, I do want that body. I do want the this. I do want the that. But it's like, do you actually want what comes with that? So many people say like, oh, I want to be, famous. I want to be like, do you understand what that even means? Do you know what that means? You can't even put up with the criticism from one person. Are you willing to put up with criticism for 10,000, 100,000, having everybody talking about you crazy? Are you sure? Oh, I want to make music and you want to sit in a room by yourself, writing in notebooks and clicking on buttons. I want to be, I want to be a content creator. I want to be an influencer. Okay. So go ahead, click, boom. Have the world judge you every single day. Do you want what you truly want? Do you want everything that comes with it? If not, then be honest with yourself. And this ties directly into building trust with yourself. When you can say, I actually don't care about that, I actually don't want that, you can be truthful and you build a level of self-trust. When you say, I'm actually not going to go to the gym, I don't care much for it, I'm making excuses, I'm just going to eat what I want to eat. Those people have a deeper level of integrity and a deeper level of self-trust. That's why they have a greater level of peace. The people who have the least amount of peace are the ones who keep telling themselves they're going to do something and keep doing the very opposite, because you have no relationship with self, or you have a broken and fragmented and fractured relationship with yourself. And that will never get you to the place that you want to be. You can only trust yourself. Hear me here. Hear me loud. Hear me clear. You can only trust yourself when you keep your promises to yourself. It's as simple as that. So if you can't keep that promise, don't make the promise. In a relationship, you might think it's going to be conflict if you say, no, I can't do that. But you have to be truthful. You will be respected and you will be trusted even if you're not liked. And liked is temporary. Respected is a long-term game. So somebody asked me for something. Oh man, can you do X, Y, and Z? I used to be the dude who did everything until I couldn't. Then I just drop everything and run off this, face of the earth. I'll just evade everything because it was too much. It was too daunting now. But I realized, all I have to say is, I don't want to do that, or I cannot do that. If they begged, pleaded, cried, threw a tantrum, it does not matter. I still can't do it. Okay, fine, forget you. Okay, forget me then. That person will at the very least still have some respect for me, as opposed to me saying, yeah, I'm going to do that, and then not doing it, and then not showing up. And then, half-assing my way through it. You are better off just saying no to the things that you can't do, and that includes to yourself. It starts with yourself. If I don't do I really want what I want? I don't think so. Okay, perfect. Then don't say you do. Then don't lie to yourself. And you will build trust within yourself, and you will start to cultivate a life in which you actually attract individuals with the same energy, those you can trust. When I started living in this way, that's why I got the most trustworthy, honorable, integrity-filled woman I believe in existence. She is who she is through and through. A no is no, a yes is yes. Fearlessly. The reason she is that is because I am what I am. And so we are perfect reflections of one another. There's a perfect alignment when it comes to that. But if I was living as my yes is no, no is yes, ain't no way that woman could even attract into my life, let alone stay around for it. I wouldn't.
I used to be afraid of the dark, place unknown like a heart in their heart. I used to see my life in the bar. Now the kids unchained, every shackle is lost. 2 steps in the moonlight, 2 step in the daytime. You just know when it feel right. Got a feeling the time's not. See you through those shades that I just threw on. Through my lenses, you just can't do no wrong. I fell in love with myself again. I fell in love with myself. I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see